Welcome back to the Learn English Lab. I'm Mike, and I'm so pumped for today's deep dive.
Oh.
We're going to be exploring asking questions in English conversations.
Ooh.
And I've got a fantastic expert guide with me today to help us unlock the secrets to really captivating conversations.
I'm thrilled to be here.
This is going to be good.
I'm Sarah, and I cannot wait to share some insights that will help you all become master question askers in English.
You know, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
When we're learning a new language, we often focus so much on, like, the grammar and vocab.
Right.
But asking good questions can be just as important, if not more so.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Think about it. Questions are the building blocks of any meaningful conversation. They spark curiosity, they help us connect with others on a deeper level, and they can even lead to unexpected discoveries.
Yeah, and so for those of us learning English,
Right.
mastering this art of asking questions can really unlock a whole new level of fluency and confidence.
It really can. It's about so much more than just getting the grammar, right? You know?
Yeah.
It's about understanding the nuances of different types of questions, reading social cues, and using questions strategically to create truly engaging interactions.
So much more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's break this down.
Okay.
Why are questions so important in conversations?
Okay.
Especially for English language learners.
Well, when you ask a question, you're not just seeking information, you're showing genuine interest in the other person.
What?
You're actively participating in the conversation and shaping its direction.
So for someone trying to improve their English conversation skills, asking questions is like a secret weapon.
It can be. It takes the pressure off of you to constantly be the one speaking and allows you to guide the conversation in a way that interests you.
I like that.
Plus, research has shown that people who ask questions are perceived as more likable than intelligent.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But you know what? Isn't it kind of intimidating to ask questions when you're still learning the language?
Yeah.
What if I make a mistake or my grammar isn't perfect?
I understand that feeling, but honestly, most people are very forgiving, especially when they know you're learning.
Okay.
Even a simple question asked with sincerity can do wonders for building connections and creating a more relaxed atmosphere.
So it's not just about avoiding those awkward silences.
Right?
It's about showing that desire to learn,
Yeah.
connect, and contribute to the conversation.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now, while any question is better than no question, becoming a truly skillful question asker involves understanding the different types of questions and when to use them.
Okay.
Just like a chef uses different knives for different tasks, a good communicator uses different types of questions to achieve different conversational goals.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So tell me more.
Let's start with open-ended questions.
Okay.
These are questions that can't be answered with a simple yes or no.
Gotcha.
They invite the other person to elaborate, share their opinions, and really open up.
Yeah.
For example, instead of asking, do you enjoy your work, you could ask, what is it about your work that you find most fulfilling?
So it's about prompting a richer,
Yes.
more thoughtful response.
Exactly. Now, on the other hand, closed-ended questions, those yes or no ones, are very useful for clarifying information or confirming details. They have their place, but they don't usually lead to deeper conversations.
So it's all about choosing the right tool for the job,
Yes.
so to speak.
Yeah.
What about those questions that kind of build on what the other person has just said?
Those are called follow-up questions, and they're essential for showing that you're truly listening and engaged.
Oh, okay.
Let's say someone tells you they love to travel.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, that's cool, a great follow-up question could be, what is it about traveling that you find so appealing? Or, where's the most interesting place you've ever been?
That's a much better way to keep the conversation flowing and show genuine interest.
Right now, there's another type of question that we should be aware of, leading questions.
Okay.
These questions are often used to subtly steer the conversation in a particular direction. For example, you might say something like, don't you just love living in such a vibrant city?
Okay.
You're sort of assuming they feel that way, which might not be the case.
Right.
That's
That's your
right.
point.
Mm-hmm.
Leading questions can sometimes come across as manipulative, even if that's not our intention.
Exactly. And lastly, we have tag questions.
Okay.
These are the short questions we add to the end of a statement. Like,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Right, right.
They're a great way to confirm information or seek agreement, and they often make the conversation feel more casual and friendly.
This is really interesting. I'm starting to see how mastering these different types of questions can take our English conversations to a whole new level.
Absolutely. But as with any skill, there's more to it than just knowing the technical terms.
Right.
It's about using these questions strategically and thoughtfully to create a natural and enjoyable conversation.
I have a feeling there's a but coming.
You got it. Even with the best intentions, some common pitfalls can hinder a conversation.
I'm all ears. Let's dive into those potential pitfalls and make sure I avoid making those mistakes.
Okay, so one common mistake is overusing those leading questions.
Okay.
Remember, too many can make the conversation feel less like a genuine exchange and more like an interrogation or a sales pitch.
Oh, so I should avoid just like peppering someone with questions like,
Right.
don't you think this is a great idea? Or you must agree with this, right?
Exactly. You want to encourage those open and honest responses, not pressure someone into agreeing with you.
Okay.
Another important point is paying attention to those nonverbal cues.
Okay.
Sometimes, even if someone is saying yes or giving you an answer,
Right.
their body language might be telling a different story.
So like if someone's fidgeting or avoiding eye contact,
Yeah.
or their tone is hesitant, maybe I should like change the subject or rephrase my question.
That's a great instinct. It's a sign that they might be uncomfortable with the line of questioning, and pressing on could damage the rapport you've built.
Right.
This all ties into the idea of being a good listener, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about waiting for your turn to speak. It's about truly tuning in to what the other person is saying, both verbally and non-verbally.
Absolutely.
And finally, a crucial element of asking good questions is giving the other person time to think and respond.
So no rapid fire questions.
Not unless you're playing a trivia game.
Gotcha.
Rushing the conversation can make it feel forced and unnatural.
Okay.
Embrace those pauses, those moments of silence. They often lead to more thoughtful responses and a more relaxed atmosphere.
This is all fantastic advice. I feel like I'm already becoming a more mindful question asker just by listening to you.
And I'm glad to hear that. Remember, the goal is to turn those questions into genuine conversations.
Yeah.
Not just question and answer sessions. Think of it like a tennis match. You want to keep the ball volleying back and forth,
Yeah.
not just serving all the time.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about different types of questions and some common pitfalls to avoid.
Right.
What are some specific strategies we can use to make our conversations in English more engaging and memorable?
One powerful technique is to share and relate.
Okay.
When the other person answers your question,
Yeah.
don't just move on to the next one. Take a moment to reflect on what they've said
Okay.
and see if you can connect it to your own experiences or opinions.
If someone's talking about their love for hiking, I could chime in with a story about my own hiking adventures. Or even just mention that I've always wanted to try it.
Absolutely. By sharing something about yourself, you're creating a sense of reciprocity. It shows that you're not just interviewing them, but that you're also willing to open up and contribute to the conversation.
Yeah.
Making it a more balanced and dynamic exchange.
It's like we're building a bridge between their worlds and ours.
Yes.
Creating a shared space for the conversation to flourish.
Exactly. And another often overlooked element of turning questions into conversations is the strategic use of silence.
Okay, this sounds a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Aren't we trying to avoid those awkward silences?
We are, but hear me out.
Okay.
Sometimes embracing those pauses can actually enhance the conversation.
How so?
When you allow for a bit of silence after someone has answered a question, it gives them time to think. Maybe they'll add something more.
Okay.
And it also gives you a chance to formulate a truly thoughtful response instead of just blurting out the first thing that comes to mind.
So those silences aren't empty space.
Right.
They're actually moments of reflection and connection.
Exactly. And they can often lead to those aha moments where the conversation takes an unexpected and delightful turn.
I love those moments. It's like the conversation suddenly becomes more authentic and unscripted.
It is. And speaking of authenticity, the most important ingredient in turning a question into a conversation is genuine curiosity.
So it's not just about asking questions to fill the silence or impress the other person.
Right.
It's about truly wanting to learn about them and their perspective.
Exactly. When you approach a conversation with that kind of openness and curiosity, it shines through in the way you ask questions and respond to their answers.
Yeah.
People can sense when you're truly interested.
Absolutely. And that genuine interest is what transforms a simple exchange of words into a truly memorable and meaningful connection.
Yeah.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I'm finally understanding the difference between just asking questions and actually creating conversations.
I'm thrilled to hear that now. To wrap things up, let's touch upon a few more key takeaways that will help you become a more confident and engaging conversationalist in English.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the art of asking questions, what are some of the most important things you want our listeners to remember?
Well, first and foremost, remember that questions are more than just a way to get information. They're powerful tools for forging connections, deepening our understanding of others, and creating conversations that are truly engaging and memorable.
You know, it's like we've been uncovering all these hidden dimensions of something we do every day,
Right.
but maybe haven't given much conscious thought to.
Absolutely. And it's especially crucial for those who are learning English. Mastering this skill can make a huge difference in your confidence and fluency.
Yeah, I can see that we've talked about different types of questions,
Right.
like open-ended questions invite those longer, more detailed responses, and closed-ended questions that are great for clarifying facts or confirming information.
Right, and then there are those follow-up questions, the ones that show you're really paying attention and want to delve deeper into what the other person is saying.
And of course, we can't forget about those tricky leading questions,
Right,
which, as we've learned, should be used sparingly.
yes.
But beyond just knowing the different types, what are some of the subtle strategies that can really elevate our question-asking game?
One technique that I always encourage people to try is sharing and relating.
Okay?
When someone answers your question, don't just jump to the next one. Take a moment to connect their response to your own experiences or opinions. It's a simple but powerful way to create a sense of reciprocity and make the conversation feel more like a two-way street.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, hey, I'm not just asking questions to be polite. I'm genuinely interested in what you have to say, and I'm willing to share a bit of myself in return.
Exactly. And another tip that often surprises people is the power of silence.
Oh,
Those pauses, which we sometimes try so hard to avoid, can actually be golden opportunities for reflection and deeper connection.
it's funny how those moments of quiet, which we often perceive as awkward, can actually lead to the most insightful and unexpected turns in a conversation.
Isn't it? And speaking of insights, I think one of the most important takeaways from our deep dive today is the key to having truly engaging conversations is approaching them with genuine curiosity, that sincere desire to learn about the other person, and their perspective is what will ultimately transform a simple exchange of words into something truly special.
I couldn't agree more. This has been an incredibly eye-opening conversation, and I feel like I'm walking away with a whole new appreciation for the power of asking good questions.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, like any skill, becoming a master question asker takes practice. Don't be afraid to experiment, try out these different strategies, and see what works best for you in different situations.
Great advice. So to all of you listening out there, next time you're having a conversation in English, think about the types of questions you're asking and how they might help you learn something new, connect more deeply with someone, or even spark a fascinating discussion that you never expected.
Happy questioning, everyone.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more deep dives on mastering English conversation skills. We'll see you in the next episode. CCO Penno.